Guess why it took me so long to release this video? A. I had a cold. B. I was lazy. Or C. I was too stupid to figure out how to download Blender. Answer revealed in 3, 2. Forget it. It was all of these. $1 million to all of you. Congrats. And I still have a cold, so that's why my voice sounds like it does. A friend of mine helped me to download Blender from the official website because I didn't know what option to choose. I was surprised by how quick the download and how lightweight the program was. My laptop surprisingly didn't just go until it exploded. Blender is much easier to handle for the CPU than Unity, but you know, that's not that hard to be honest. In Blender you also only have one file plus a backup file of the previous save for each project instead of a whole folder with 13,000 elements, so that really surprised me. Then I learned the basics of how to move, rotate and scale objects and orbit around the scene. The tutorial series I used in this video is by Blender Guru. It's amazing. I will link it in the description. In Blender you can also immediately render, except if you use cycles, but my laptop couldn't handle that, so it had to surrender. Sorry, I just had to. He pressed F12. Whoa. Oh no. What did I do? Okay. I like the controls in Blender much better than in Unity. They are way more intuitive and easy to use. But one thing that did confuse me is that the Z-axis was going up and down instead of the Y-axis. Z? What? Z is up and down? Huh? But if you look at it from another angle, it kind of makes sense, I guess. You can also switch between different views, like solid, rendered, and wireframe. And the overall layout of this program is really well structured and intuitive. Hear that, Unity? Intuitive? You haven't learned that word yet, have you? Okay, I now made a basic donut, like the basic shape, with the icing also. But now I'm gonna take a break. Guess how long that break took? A. 5 minutes. B. 7 minutes. The rest of the day. It took the rest of the day. On day 2 I was way more productive because I used less time to work on the project. No, seriously. I used the Pomodoro technique, which basically means you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break, so that you're always focused and in the flow. This worked really well for me. I'm using it right now as I'm recording this, so at the end of the day, all that was left to do was the color of the sprinkles and better lighting. But, you know, lighting isn't that important. I can render it maybe. Yeah. So, okay, maybe lighting is important. And remember when I said that Blender's layout is good? Well, in the background you can see how I switch between different tabs, like browser tabs. This has nothing to do with the separate windows on the screen, but they are rather different workspaces where you can manually add and remove windows and download Linux instead. So you can have an animation tab, a shading tab, a sculpting tab, a layout tab, and so on and so on. And now comes the best part. You, for example, need them for geometry nodes, and it is really fun to use them. It's a bit like a simplified form of programming, but you essentially take your input, let it go through a bunch of different functions, and then get the output. You even give the functions extra variables, like randomly generated numbers or object info. And there are public variables that you can see in Blender's equivalent to the inspector. Learning Blender isn't that hard when you already know a game engine. At least on the technical side. Although my donut looks like a hamburger with some french fries on it, I still learned a lot. And this video is titled I Learned Blender, not I Learned How to Make Art. So with that, I think I will complete this mini-series of learning 3D, because I will make enough 3D games for other challenges. And I don't think it's that exciting to watch me watching tutorials about particle systems and lighting. But as always, write any challenge ideas you have in the comments and subscribe if you actually want to see these ideas executed. I'm Paula, this is Coding Crate, where I code and create games. Good luck.